And hello, hello. The time has come. Uh, the playoff is ready. We got the bracket, so we finally can do everything that we want to do. And obviously, Pick'em is on as well. So um, I gonna do my predictions as usual. Every team. And before I start doing the predictions, just looking at the quarterfinals, uh, we kind of already pick like one finalist or semi-finalist straight away. It's Vitality. Just looking at the Fnatic, Monte, and Complexity, there's there shouldn't be a way for any of these teams to upset Vitality. Fnatic in current stage is interesting. I like the direction of development of Messi. He's turning back into the beast he was before he started IGLing. And Dexter is somewhat decent addition. The problem at the moment is most likely Roach, who is kind of playing the roles he's not really used to. Crims is just being solid as always, and yeah, Monte just a shit show. Um, the change of Boros, obviously, as everyone expected, is just downgrade. Complexity, what a surprise! Actually, what a surprise! And in general, I don't think that they're gonna beat either Vitality or okay. I'll put this through as Fnatic as my pick over here. Um, there there are so many questions regarding complexity and how they're gonna approach certain maps. Because let's say they're gonna play Fnatic, how they're gonna play a map like Overpass, how they're gonna play Vertigo against them. Uh, I see Fnatic as a superior team right now, so Fnatic most likely gonna take a lead on their own map, and there's a very high chance that Fnatic just gonna take off Anubis because that's the map that complexity feels most comfortable at the moment, and there is no point for Fnatic to even try to go for it. However, like we might see a surprise, and yeah, anything can happen. So for me, anyway, for me, Fnatic is still still the team that's gonna go through all the way with the Vitality to the quarterfinals. And the quarterfinals, I'm gonna leave them on for now, and just gonna go to the second options. So Eternal Fire, great achievement, getting to the playoffs, but right now Astralis is far superior. And obviously Eternal Fire played teams that have loads of issues. Liquid, Cloud9, everyone have issues, right? Uh, G2, the way G2 was playing, they nearly lost to complexity. I don't think either of them gonna make it to the semifinal. So Astralis versus Big. Big already surprised everyone by gain so far, and at this point, I still believe in Astralis slightly more. Uh, If I had to put the percentage, it's 55-45. So again, I'll leave the quarterfinals on there for a second. Now the probably well the most obvious one for majority of people, VP should be taking it down all the way till they meet ends, and this is where they kind of gonna crash into each other. There's ends is playing really well against everyone other than slow pace teams, and Virtus Pro is well the king of them all. So there's gonna be a very interesting one. Now the bracket of disappointment, I'd say, because Mouse were very bad, Furia very bad, Phase very bad, G2. How the hell they managed to win? So in this bracket, the first game Mouse versus Furia, and At this point, I don't know, something is still odd in Mouse and in Fury, both teams. Uh, I'd say this is more likely gonna be just a game where probably the experience gonna win over the young passion. I'm pretty sure Mouse most likely gonna win the first map, and then Fury just gonna come back on the second one, and then it's gonna be a third map where it's gonna be a tough one again, and most likely Fury are gonna win over Mouse. So that's kind of my prediction for this. Then FaZe versus Furia, and once again, this this is probably gonna be a shit show. I don't know why, but it looks like it's gonna be a shit show, where we can call this a game of throws, most likely. I don't know why, but this looks like both teams gonna throw a lot of rounds, and like 1v3 is gonna fly over, like 1v2s. Probably there will be so many clutches won. And at the end of the day, as a FaZe fan, I have to kind of give slight advantage to FaZe. However, I'd say it's 50-50 at this point, right? Because if we're talking about the firepower, then Fury is one of those teams that actually have enough firepower. Because Art is a solid entry. Xerato and Yuri, we all know they're very strong, and obviously Fallen with the op is also great. And Cello, like anything can happen. Like if I had to go for some sort of like under the radar semi-final, then I would have to go for something like Virtus Pro versus Furia, because they both are kind of the same, with like the only one difference is that Furia is more aggressive and Virtus Pro is more passive. But like if we look at the lineups, it's like exactly the same thing, right? Like you have two very strong like rifles, like Yuri and Xerato over here, and Fame and Fleet and Virtus Pro. Then you have aggressive entry player, which is obviously Art here, and Cello can do the same. And well, we kind of can call Mir aggressive, like, but for some reason he doesn't really play that aggressive right now. But still, like it kind of suits. And then Norbert is like the piece that is kind of supportive over here. One on the other side, like Fallen is kind of doing it all. And this is probably why it's going to be a little bit tougher for Furia to actually win, because like Fallen has to do a lot of stuff on top of IGLing. When in terms of VP, uh, James has his hands kind of free, because there are players that are willing to do some supporting element for him, and he can actually focus on opening as well. So yeah, if I have to go under the radar semi-final on this side of the bracket, I'd say it's going to be Virtus Pro versus Furia, but I'm not as delusional as majority of people think. So I still gonna stick with Face, and yeah, now let's go to the quarterfinals. Vitality versus Fnatic. I'd love to see Fnatic like going over there, but this looks like Vitality game all over the place. Um, can we see one final time of clash between Zaivu and Simple before the CS dies? And CS2 is kind of being a phoenix of Counter Strike and just like again there again. So can we see that semifinal, or Astral is gonna come and show who's the real GOAT? Is at this moment I have more faith in Astralis rather than Navi. So I'm going with Astralis this time, and I think that Device probably has a really, really good chance of showing who's the real GOAT here, right? Now, Ants versus VP. As I said, opposite game styles, opposite IGLing types, right? The explosive one on Ants, and kind of my approach to the game as well on VP side. Um, just looking at everything, it really looks like it doesn't matter what team's gonna be playing. It's probably gonna be another Vitality versus Ents final, but uh, VP actually have a really good chance of getting there, and I'd say it's gonna be VP that's gonna take over Ents. I don't know why, but I just have this feeling. And on the other side, most likely FaZe gonna upset, and then we're gonna have four major winners. And if somehow Navi makes it through Astralis, then we're gonna have four most recent major winners, with Vitality recent one, then we have FaZe and VP and Navi, like last four majors, last four winners. And he won it most recently. It was Vitality. So by the logic, right? If we come up to sum up the CS2 or Counter Strike Go, then we should have last event at the Pro League. All four teams that actually won the four majors, right? So I kind of like this idea, even though it looks like freaking delusional. But you know what? This is fantasy, so why not? Maybe maybe some dreams come true, and maybe some fantasies gonna come over and get there as well at some point. So I'm gonna save this one, and yeah, once again, I think that Vitality should be taking this one all over the place. So now looking at this, um, what players should I pick? Obviously, I believe in Device. So Device gonna be my main opus straight away. And then looking at this side of the bracket, I think Fnatic has a chance of gain quite a few points. And if we look at the Fnatic pricings, then prices are pretty good. And the only thing is that Roy Roy is in a very bad shape, and I'm not sure if I should be picking him. But they're gonna be playing Monte, where he can actually get a good rating. Then they're gonna be playing Complexity, where again he can have a good rating, and against Vitality, there is a chance he's not gonna disappoint. Even though I'd prefer to take Mezzi, but 20k difference at this point is a bit too much. So Roy is very budget pick right now, and I believe he's worth it. So now, in terms of other side of the bracket, um, Astralis. Actually, not Astralis. Not the other side of the bracket, but this side. Um, Borup, uh, very cheap, but also not the best rating. Buzz 199 is somewhat acceptable, but how is it going to perform against Navi, against Big? Like, I'd, I'd rather go with slightly more safe option, I'd say. Star is probably the better option over here. So 412k is decent enough to try and wrap my head around on the other side, right? Mm, so dropping down to the lower bracket and seeing the prices of VP, I really want to pick two VP players, but is it worth it? Because obviously me is an upgrade to Kick It, and I see that they have improved a lot since his addition. Fleet is kind of underwhelming, to be honest, but at the end of the day, I think he might have a chance of actually like improving a lot at the at the playoff stage, because for me it looked like VP still were trying some things, and I've been like really following CS since like what 2017, and just recently I saw me for the first time smiling when they like won one of the games. It's like it was the first time I saw him smiling. My guy was playing at so many teams, and it's really the first time I see him smiling. So I think something is going on there, and um, just looking at this, I have a really good chance of farming a lot of points in early stages, and then if if I'm right, and everything ends up the way it looks, then potentially Vitality player is gonna have only like what 3 games to kind of top up the scores. But if we look at the prices of Vitality players, then like you will have to use a lot of cheap and bad players, right? So I'm not sure it's worth it. So I'm going with my approach, and yeah, this is the lineup I'm most likely gonna end up with. Let me just confirm it. And leader on Astralis. I don't know. For some reason, I I want to swap this to support role or to a headshot machine. I don't know. Flit, multifrag, me defender, or IGL. Because if we look over here, it's like probably 2-0, 2-0, and then most likely it's going to be 2-1 against Ents. So let me just remove the role and add the role over here. IGL and star. What should I pick for you? Eco-friendly. Well, it looks like this guy might be the one that's gonna play with the with the SMG the most. And me trades, not sure. Kobe. Actually, you know what? Just definitely no. Trades, not really. Kobe consistent for. You know what? Let's try Kobe. So yeah, this is the lineup I'm gonna end up with. I would probably love to see someone like Messi in my lineup, but at this point, he is what he is. 35% on Broge as an entry frag is not the worst one. Anything else? Not really. So this is what I'm gonna end up with. As always, let me know what you think, and good luck and have fun. Peace.